Welcome to the Athletes Unlimited Softball League, presented by Goody. Back in Omaha, Nebraska, Game 2 between the top two teams in the league, the Bandits and the Talons, at the beautiful Connie Claussen Field in front of another sellout crowd. That's all we've seen this year, it feels like. Last night, all about the long ball. Jadelyn Alchin started it off for the Talons to give them an early lead. The Bandits would not go quietly. Bubba Nickles-Ca, a 3-run shot in a 6-run 5th inning to give them the lead before Sierra Sacco, the rookie from Mississippi State, saw the first pitch of the 7th inning and tied things up with a home run of her own to force extras. The Talons went on to win to improve to 13-3 on the year. They're 3 games ahead of the Bandits for the first place spot. The Talons could clinch their spot in the AUSL Championship in Tuscaloosa, depending on the results tonight here and in Seattle between the Volts and the Blaze. Alongside the 2-time All-American Amanda Scarborough, I'm Chucky Kempfel. Amanda, 8 straight for the Talons. It's not always been an easy road, but you just can't count this team out.
You have to wait until the very last out is recorded. If the Talons are down or if the game is tied, the Talons are going to have a chance to win it. They've been so fun to watch late in games, and you can tell that this team chemistry and culture shines in later innings, in the 6th and the 7th. And this started in the second series of the summer whenever they played the Blaze in Chattanooga. They had 2 wins, 2 of the 3 wins come from a home run that was in the 7th. One from Sid Romero and then another one in Game 3 from Hannah Flippett. And that continued on into Wichita when they were playing this Bandits team. Actually, Charlize Palacios with a walk-off home run, and then Ali Aguilar last night. So not just one player offensively who is stepping up for them. They're getting production 1 through 9. And in any given game, it can be somebody different stepping up. But 5 of their 13 wins this season have come when trailing or tied after the 6th inning. Last night we played extras, and they did it there too.
Hannah Flippin with one of those 4 home runs last night. Charlize Palacios delivered the first run of the game on a sacrifice fly. Top to bottom, we talked about it, their lineup produces in some way. On the other side, the Bandits had enough offense in 1 inning last night, that 6-run 5th, and it looked like they might have a come-from-behind victory. Sydney McKinney in the 6th hole has been excellent as part of that great trio with Zerkle and Koffel. Wallace in the 2 spot, and then the newest Bandit, just getting traded yesterday, had a big hit last night to give them the lead in extras. Daniel Gibson Horton slots into the 4 hole and starts at first base. Facing one of the best pitchers in the league out of UCLA, Megan Faremo from Oceanside, California, the 3rd overall pick in the AUSL inaugural draft. Got off to a little bit of a slow start, Amanda, gave up multiple earned runs in each of her first 5 outings, but over her last 4, 18 1/3, 4 earned, and she struck out 19.
Throws a lot of strikes, throws with really good velocity. The ball gets on you in a hurry.
Another sellout crowd in Omaha, Nebraska tonight. All 3 nights in Seattle have been sold out for about a month now as Faremo delivers the first pitch outside for ball 1 to Morgan Zerkle. Zerkle 1 for 4, a run scored and an RBI last night in the Bandits' late 8-7 loss in 8 innings.
I think if you're the Bandits today, you have to enter this mindset or enter the game with the mindset that we're going to put 10 runs on the board today, which is not going to be an easy feat with the way that the Talons pitching staff has been throwing lately, but that's the mindset that you have to have. Their pitchers have been giving up a few more runs after the break, so we played 12 games, then we had a 2-week break, and we're on the second half of 12 games here for a 24-game season. And in the second half, the Bandits pitching staff have been giving up some runs.
Down and in to Zerkle. Faremo now a 2-2 count here. Since Faremo and Korick have returned from their professional seasons in Japan, the Talons pitching trending the other direction than the Bandits, straight up right now. And that's with Faremo getting off to that slow start. Zerkle with a base hit off the glove of Flippin into center field.
That was a screwball that Morgan Zerkle just got a hit on and was looking for that outside corner. Great hit right back up the middle of the field off of the screwball, which is the pitch that Megan Faremo will use the most. That screwball, a pitch that moves away from a lefty, a pitch that moves into right-handed hitters. She will also throw a curveball, a rise, and a changeup. That changeup going to be important against a team that has hit the most home runs in the league.
Zerkle on for Skylar Wallace. Back to Faremo. Quick turn to second. Wallace, too much speed, and flipping couldn't quite get it out of the glove.
Skylar Wallace hitting the first pitch that she sees from Faremo. She told me before the game this Bandits team is going to be looking to attack earlier in the count. She has good speed down the line, and even though that got to Megan Faremo quickly, Hannah Flippin couldn't get the ball out of her glove, but I don't think it would have mattered with the speed of Skylar Wallace.
See how aggressive the Bandits are here. Wallace entered the weekend 5 for 5 stealing bases, not running on the first pitch, and it's fouled back by Erin Koffel for strike one. Koffel having a spectacular season, a .500 average entering this series, a slugging percentage just over 1,200. Into right field, Caroline Jacobson over toward the line and makes the grab for the second out. Solid start for Faremo through the first 3 in the order, and now faces the Bandits' new powerful left-handed hitter, Danielle Gibson-Horton. All-American at Arkansas, now an assistant coach there under Courtney Deifel on what is a really great coaching staff all around. From Murrieta, California, but has found her home back where she played her college ball. Great stop by Faremo in the circle, and a solid start from the former UCLA star. Nothing doing for the Bandits. Faremo shutting it down. For the top 5 in this Talons order, homer Tori Vidalis in the 4 spot, had a double last night. This is a very dangerous and powerful lineup, 1 through 9. Vidalis has hit safely in 4 of the last 5 games on the season behind Hannah Flippin. Great protection for one of the best hitters in the world. Fantastic freshman Sierra Sacco will lead it off. There's Odyssey Alexander from Boynton, Virginia. Made a name for herself in Oklahoma City with James Madison, leading them to 2 straight wins out of the gate in the Women's College World Series, and then that tremendous diving play that everyone will always remember from Odyssey. You said it right off the top, having a great season so far.
Yeah, and this is her 8th appearance, but just actually her 2nd start. So big opportunity for her. The Bandits need to get back on track, and we talked about how their pitchers have been giving up some runs since we came back from the break. Huge opportunity for her to come in and try to shut down this Talons offense, give them a quality start, go deep into this game.
Last time we saw Odyssey was in relief late in a game earlier this week in Rosemont against the Blaze. Gave up a 2-run home run in the 7th inning that forced extras. The Bandits able to come out on top, though, in 8 innings. Odyssey gets the start tonight, though. Just her 2nd start in her 8th appearance of the year.
Well, I think the biggest thing here is going to be to limit the amount of extra base hits that the Bandits have given up. When you look at where their pitchers have struggled, it's not just been, okay, they're giving up a few hits here and there. It's been the amount of extra base hits, the power that hitters have hit against the Bandits pitching. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games, and in those 5 games, given up 25 extra base hits, 11 of them being home runs. So they need to keep the ball in the ballpark and limit the damage.
They've allowed 7 or more runs in 4 of their last 6 games. And you said it, 1 and 4 over their last 5. There's the outside corner for Odyssey to make it a 2-1 count. Three-1 now to Sacco. Sierra just the 1 hit last night. She was 0 for 3 when she stepped to the plate down a run in the 7th inning and took the first pitch she saw over the right field wall to force extras.
Talons today going to need to see the ball down against Odyssey Alexander. She likes to use her rise ball. In fact, she uses that rise ball the most out of any of her pitches that she'll throw. Sierra Sacco chasing that 3-1.
Outside corner, strike 3. Sacco can't believe it.
Odyssey seeing what she can get on the outside corner, and she just gets a couple of balls out to Mary Iacobo. It's going to be a tough pitch for these hitters to pitch, but right at the knees. Talked about that rise ball that she will use the most. Her screwball she'll use the second most, alongside her curveball and her changeup. Her best chase pitches that she gets a ton of chases out of the zone are her rise and her changeup.
Talked about Odyssey, that location she got the strikeout on, how dangerous that part of the zone is for her. Now faces Jadelyn Alchin in the 2-hole. Did go around for strike 1.
And that's that changeup that she will need to have today. She'll need to get some chases like she did just there in the check swing by Alchin, but having her chase that pitch out of the zone, and she's going to need to be able to locate that pitch through the zone because the Talons are so good at making adjustments. At some point, they'll likely stop chasing it.
Alchin to right center field. Dayton at the wall and catches it on the warning track.
Jadelyn Alchin just continues to square pitches up.
An excellent season. Was not drafted. She was picked up out of the reserve athlete pool.
Location of that pitch, good pitch to barrel up, good pitch to drive, good pitch selection by Jadelyn Alchin, which has just been exactly what she's been doing all season. Leads the team in slugging percentage.
Odyssey trying to go 1-2-3 now, facing Hannah Flippin. Just the one hit for Flippin last night as well. And as a matter of fact, those 4 of the top 5 in the order that all homered only had 1 hit. It was all a home run for their lone hits last night. Ball 2.
Hitting early in the count, too. A couple of those home runs came on the first pitch of the at-bat. Just attacking ambush from the Talons at times, especially as we went on later in the game.
.3-0 to Flippin. Eight wins in a row for the Talons. 12 of their last 13. The lone loss coming to the Bandits. It's the only team they've lost to this year. But 2 of those 3 losses came on opening weekend of this inaugural AUSL season. Oh, that firmly got Flippin. 2-out hit by pitch.
Not really expecting to get hit like that on a 3-0 count. You know, you're thinking the pitcher is going to be a little bit closer to the strike zone, trying to get back into the count, but I feel like if you're going to get hit, that's a good place to get hit.
Gives Tori Vidalis a chance with 2 outs. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Tori has a hit in 12 of 15 games this year. Still looking for that power. Kind of come to know her by back to her All-American Texas A&M days. And even as a pro, this is the first year of the AUSL. We've had 5 years prior of a different format now called the All-Star Cup, that leaderboard format where individual players can move up and down and we crown a champion at the end of the season. That will be played still. It will be in August. One-two count to Tori.
trying to go back to that rise ball. And when you think of Odyssey Alexander and her strengths, I was actually talking to her before the game that she's like, sometimes I need to remember and go back to my own strengths, because you face the same hitters so many times that sometimes you'll venture away and try to give them different looks. But she said to me, I need to remember what my strengths are and continue to use them.
Torrey into right center field. Doubled last night. It's another one tonight. And this time it's going to score a run. Flipping comes across. Similar story. Talons take an early lead.
Just a good piece of hitting by Tori Vidalis. 2 strikes, you get an off-speed pitch on the outer half after seeing a rise ball up and down your hands. And that's why she is right in the middle of the Talons order, because yeah, she might not be hitting for the most power in terms of home runs, but she still is such a good hitter and a tough out. Has only struck out 2 times all season because she can protect the plate like that with 2 strikes. Hannah Flippen scores all the way from first base, and more 2-out scoring by the Talons.
11-1 on the season when they score first. So Torrey hasn't hit a ton of the home runs, but 6 doubles for her on the season, leads the league.
Came through early in yesterday's game, too, to get the Talons on the board first.
Jacobson fouled straight back to fall behind 0-2.
And just this mentality that they have offensively can be so defeating to go up against, because Odyssey Alexander Cruz to get those first 2 outs, and then a 3-0 hit by pitch to Hannah Flippen, and then a 2-strike double by Tori Vidalis with 2 outs, and all of a sudden they're on the board after 2 quick outs to start the inning.
Jacobson hit by the pitch. The inning continues.
Trying to establish that inner half. It's what Odyssey Alexander likes to do so much, is rise ball and screwball on the inner half to the right-handed hitters that she goes up against. But this one rides a little too far in and gets Caroline Jacobson, who's having a great season.
Go back to what you were talking about with Odyssey. Getting back to your strengths. That's kind of the fine line, though, right? Is using your strengths, but also being unpredictable as much as possible.
It's hard to do when you're facing the same hitters so many times. You have to be able to give them different looks. But ultimately, she talked about wanting to go back to her strengths, which is that screwball, rise ball combination on her arm side, so away from lefties and into righties.
Ali Aguilar, last night's hero, takes strike 1. It was actually back-to-back Washington Huskies last night. Hayward, who didn't start the game but had entered. Vic Hayward, a former Husky, keeping it going, giving the bat to Ali Aguilar, and then Aguilar walked it off. We talked about they probably would rather be in Seattle playing this weekend, but still coming through big for the Talons.
The Blaze and Volts getting to hang out in that beautiful Seattle weather and scenery up in the northwest.
Yeah, not the worst view with the lake over the outfield wall.
I've even been getting FOMO of seeing all the Seattle content that the Blaze and Volts players and coaches and AU support staff have been posting about. And I'm not even a Washington Husky alum like Ali Aguilar and Vic Hayward, who are here. Jalen Alton, too, playing several years at Washington and going to UCLA.
Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird throwing out the first pitch last night.
That's pretty cool.
And it was good. Like, they were committed to the pitch.
I like that. When you are somebody who is not a softball player and you throw out a first pitch, I like the commitment when you go underhand and at least just give it a whirl. It means a lot as like a softball fan and former player, like, and I feel like just as any fan watching, like I love the commitment when you go underhand with the first pitch.
Slow roller to Koffel at second. That'll do it for the first inning. A long first inning, but it's just 1 run for the Talons. Similar start, though, them taking an early lead. Goody. Well, This great partnership between the MLB and the AUSL. Some of the players out in the MLB venues throwing out first pitches, swapping jerseys. Michaela Edenfield and Cal Raleigh of the Mariners. Sierra Romero at a Rays game throwing out the first pitch. Not bad from Sierra. They're a little inside, but overall pretty good since that MLB announcement of the partnership with AUSL, the beginning of the Women's College World Series. It has not taken time to get it up and going. I mean, from day one, it has been pedal to the metal as far as content and support of this league.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of synergy already between MLB and the AUSL. They're posting a ton on Instagram and Twitter, great plays and writing stories and being able to watch games on the MLB app in front of the paywall. Just great synergy between both leagues.
I think that's what we both did last night after our game here in Wichita. Went back to the hotel and hopped on the MLB app to watch the Blaze and Volts. Bubba Nickles-Ca in an 0-2 count against Faramo. A couple UCLA Bruins going head-to-head with another one behind the plate. Alchin came in. Nickles-Ca goes over her head. And Bubba has a leadoff double.
You're seeing some determination already from the Bandits with 2 strikes, understanding that their offense is going to have to step up and score runs against this Talons offense, who has been so powerful and consistently putting runs on the board. Bubba Nickles gets a rise ball with 2 strikes and a pitcher's count, and she just goes up and gets it. Quick hands, gets her barrel up and in with the leadoff double. Had a home run last night to right center, but clearly showing that she can pull the ball too.
McKinney laying it down, bare hand from Romero, nice play. Sacrifice bunt works for McKinney in the tying run at third. McKinney had 3 hits last night. Here she is producing in a different way to start this game. Set the table for Delaney Wiz. Fooled by the first pitch, out in front for strike 1. Wiz was 0 for 4 last night and came around to score a run. Twice has been a game winner this year for the Bandits. In walk-off fashion against the Volts and against the Blaze. I asked Delaney, she got one of the Tops Now cards this week. I said, are you going to get your own card? And she said, no, but my mom's bought 10 of them.
Probably to hand out some other family members. Keep a couple on your own in case one gets some water spilt on it or something happens to it. You got to have backups, and you got to be able to spread the love to the rest of the family and friends. Or maybe you just keep all 10 to yourself. I don't know, and you have them at different places in the house or different scrapbooks, but love how all-in mom is.
If you're spilling water on your cards, it's shocking behavior, Amanda. Shocking.
Not that you would do it on purpose, but accidents happen.
Straight into a sleeve.
Straight into a sleeve.
Yeah.
Now it makes me wonder if Delaney's mom got sleeves to put her cards in.
Well, if she didn't, we're helping her out right now.
You live, you learn, you know?
Maybe she'll get one of the special ones. Who knows? 1-2. Delaney. Oh, man.
Almost hit Bubba. Woo! 60 feet down the line, so between where Delaney Wiz is and Bubba Nickles. After she gets her lead, it gets cut down to about 57 feet, right over her head.
Another 2-strike opportunity for Wiz. A little off speed and fights that pitch down the left field line. Bubba now back-to-back nights with an extra base hit. That's one that if she could get going, this Bandits lineup could take it to the next level. She's had that pop this year. But Delaney and Bubba's averages are both down. They're just impacting the game still in their own way. Bubba with some power, Delaney with some clutch hits. Now trying to combine to tie this game here in the second. 2-2.
It's a great at-bat by Delaney Wiz, holding back on several pitches that have just missed that Megan Frame really wants her to swing at and bite at and chase, and she's just not doing it. Fouling off inside pitches that have come close and just has an idea that those outside pitches are going to continue out of the zone.
Ton of UCLA connections right now. Wiz into left field, just foul.
She had a walk-off hit a few days ago, and it was on a ball that was very similar to that just fell inside the line. Wasn't well struck, but had eyes. I thought that one was going to fall too.
Stacey Newman-Denise trying to find the recipe right now for a team who did not lose back-to-back games in the first half. Wiz into left field, pretty good recipe for the two Bruins, back-to-back doubles. Bubba started it, McKinney put her in scoring position, and Wiz with an RBI double herself.
You're looking for some fight out of this Bandits team who has lost 4 of their last 5 games, and you want to show up to the ballpark and see fight in different ways. And this was Delaney Wiz fighting in this at bat. Megan Framo wanted to get her out on the outside pitch, but push came to shove on a full count. Had to go back inside. Wiz was ready for it, barrels it up to tie up this game. All 3 of the Bandits' hits have come with 2 strikes.
That came on the 11th pitch of the at-bat for Delaney Wiz. Off her former teammate as well. And Faremo, Wiz started at Loyola Marymount but finished at UCLA and played with Megan Faremo. She delivers a strike on the inside corner to Mariah Copo.
So much familiarity between these players in this league, between these two teams. They've played with each other in college. They've played with each other professionally in the past few seasons, or against each other quite a few games. So just a lot of familiarity as Megan Faremo gets a big strikeout of Mariah Copo.
Some of these players go all the way back to their travel ball days.
That's right.
Long-time friends, long-time competitors. 9 spot for the Bandits is Bella Dayton, former Arizona Wildcat and Texas Longhorn.
I mean, you say travel ball days, we could be talking as far back as 12U, like when we had Jenny Finch in the booth with us in our Soul for Louisiana games, and she was talking about playing with Natasha Wally on the same team when they were in 12 and under.
In the air to left center field, Sacco takes control of it and finishes up the top of the second. Another great battle between these two teams. The series tied 3-3 on the year.
MLB, you know, making the contribution, which means they recognize the importance of what this league means. I know my wife's been pounding me over the head for, you know, you're going to have women in baseball. You're going to have women in baseball. And, you know, first of all, I'm afraid to say no to her. But, you know, they're women athletes. Look what's happened in the basketball league and how, you know, how they've come along and have gotten so competitive and so great to watch.
That was opening day of this inaugural AUSL season, and a legend of the MLB, Joe Torre, joining us, talking about how special this commitment that the MLB is making to the AUSL. It was a long list of legends we had in the building, but that was a special moment for sure.
Yeah, opening day and opening weekend of the AUSL inaugural season was just electric. We had sellouts every single game. We had celebs like Joe Torre in the house. And his relationship with Kim Ng, the commissioner of the AUSL, is really strong, so wanted to be there to support her and the league. It was a pleasure to talk to him and see him. But I think, Chucky, people love to watch this sport. They love the speed of it, how quick the games are, how athletic the players are. Of course, they love the way that the pitchers pitch because it's so different than baseball. They're entranced by it. And we had a lot of firsts, of course, at opening weekend, a game that we got to call the first ever game, but We saw the first hit from Morgan Zerkle, the first home run by Sierra Sacco. 3 of 3 of these players are playing in this game. First complete game by Rachel Garcia.
On opening day in extra innings for Rachel Garcia in that first complete game.
There's a quote that somebody, one of my coworkers said, there's those who love softball and there's those who just don't know that they love it yet. Because once you watch this sport, you fall in love with it. We see it at the World Series, we see it at the Little League level, and now we're seeing it with the exposure that the AUSL has gotten with Athletes Unlimited and the support and the exposure nationally as more and more people tune in and come to the games. So sellout after sellout.
Sydney Romero in a battle here to start this second inning, fouling that pitch back. 2-2 count against Odyssey. Just also want to point out, if you looked at the score bug in that Joe Torre clip, it was 1-0 in the third inning between these two teams. Kind of a precursor to what we've seen all year long. Great matchups between these two who have ended up being the top 2 teams in the league to this point. This is their 7th meeting. The series is tied at 3-3. No one has won back-to-back games yet. That's incredible.
It's been such good softball played between these two teams. So such close games.
Romero, another one sent out of play.
As of right now, if the standings hold and it finishes out like this will be the 2 teams in the championship in Tuscaloosa, July 26th, 27th, and maybe the 28th. It's the best 2 of 3 series later on in July.
Into the turf, ball 3.
My goodness, this is bad. Sid Romero just won't go away. 34 pitches already thrown by Odyssey. 7th hitter up of the game here. Some extended ABs that the Talons are putting together first time through.
10th pitch of this at-bat on the way. And Romero takes ball 4. Let's check in with Savannah Collins.
Each game, there's a piece of notebook paper taped up inside the Talons dugout. That started because of the team's nightly debriefs after games where they talk about GBH. What did they do good? What could they do better? And then how are they going to execute it? Coach Dobson has taken his own notes throughout the whole season, so the players wanted to get in on it too. Tori Vidalis taped that up inside the dugout tonight, and it'll be filled out as the game goes on. You can see the things that are going well throughout this game, and then the ones that they can do better. This team is always evolving, and they've taken on some note-taking to help them execute it.
I think Sydney Romero was the first note on there. Quality at bat, drawing the walk in 11 pitches.
I think that was written down even before she actually drew the walk.
You're right. Into right field, long run for Koffel. Dayton coming on, can't quite get to it in foul territory.
Can't wait to check back in later to this game and see how this sheet evolves with the good and better for the Talons. I want to go back to it, but Jay getting better read and throw on B to B plays, knowing we're jamming?
I don't know the last part of that. And I also wonder who wrote that. Do they write their own notes sometimes, potentially? Reed fouled that pitch off.
Couple of pop-ups to Bree Ellis, who's liable to leave the ballpark at any time, that the Bandits haven't been able to secure. That one down the right field line, and then that one just out of reach and out of play.
Ellis 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout in last night's game. Another foul ball for Bree.
She took the softball season by storm. A lot of people saw her walk-off grand slam at the SEC tournament. that she did not swing the bat in the prior at-bats leading up to that because they were pitching around her so much, and her one swing of the game late in the game was that walk-off grand slam to win the game for Arkansas. That was a clip that went viral. That was Ellis at Arkansas and last year's D1 National Player of the Year.
Inside. That's kind of one of those moments I was sitting at home watching that game, and you're just like, man, how special was that?
I was calling that game, and for some reason, it just kind of felt like it was going to happen. There's nowhere to put her. The bases were loaded, and she just was so clutch all college season long. Oh, my goodness. Still looking for that same rhythm and to find that same groove as a pro. Bit of a slow start for her, and you can understand why, too. She's getting pitched really tough by some of the best pitchers in the world. Everybody saw what she did at Arkansas, where she hit, 26 home runs and hit for almost a 500 average. I mean, the season that she had was unbelievable. So she gets pitched tough, and she really has high expectations, too, for herself, and maybe put a lot of pressure on herself.
Another one in the air, tailing toward the wall. Dayton over and makes the grab. Romero advances to second. Dayton makes the catch. It was awkward over there around the wall.
The ball person is down there down the line too. So not only was she worried about the fence, she's worried about that person and the bucket who just didn't get enough out of the way. You can feel that as a defender. I mean, that is just a few feet away, but when you're tracking down a ball and all of your attention is on that ball, that person that's standing there feels even closer to you. So good job of tracking that down. Another ball hit in the air by Ellis, and this time the Bandits secure an out. Big out.
Romero in scoring position for the bottom of the order, Charlize Palacios. This was the same matchup that finished one of their great games in Wichita. Palacios, a walk-off home run off of Odyssey. Got all of that pitch right there, but fouled it away for strike two.
And if you're Odyssey Alexander, that's what you want with how hard in that you throw these right-handed hitters. You're okay with a hard hit foul ball like that. Throwing off the plate inside to them, not wanting to leave it over the plate on the inner half. Shows you had a good pitch location there.
Let's take you back to that walk-off homer from Palacios.
Off of Odyssey Alexander, and I'm sure that is in the back of Odyssey's mind, is remembering that home run that she hit off her to win the game for the Talons in Wichita. Allie Shipman-Strout also had a home run in that inning too. Get the bat in the hands of Palacios to walk it off.
Shipman-Strout homered in back-to-back games that week in Wichita. The Talons players that they've pulled out of the reserve athlete pool, and that's where teams can go if anyone goes on injured reserve, or if maybe they don't have a player at the beginning of the season. We had a lot of players finishing up professional years in Japan. And so you go to that reserve athlete pool and bring a player in to fill in. Allie Shipman-Strout was there filling in at the catcher spot in a couple big home runs. And then Jadlyn Alchin, that's been a topic of conversation because not sure when Maya Brady might return, but Alchin's in your two-hole right now as one of your best hitters. And if Brady comes back, Alchin will go back into that player pool, athlete pool.
We'll see what happens with that if Maya Brady is able to put on a uniform and suit up and play her first AUSL game. We have yet to see her in action this season, but a few games left, headed toward the championship in Tuscaloosa.
2-2. Talons seeing a ton of pitches right now against Alexander.
They're making her work. And similar to Megan Framo, who likes to throw inside to righties too, it just seems like these Talons are taking the outside pitch and looking for something in. Likely the Odyssey's going to have to come inside here. Go to a change of speeds.
Big out for Odyssey right there, and the ball gets flipped back into the circle. That was out number 2, not 3, and Romero heads up play to take third.
I think they were throwing it to second just to make sure that Sydney tagged on the play. Mental miscue there of Mariai Kopo, thinking that it's a third out, and then flipping the ball back to the circle. Nobody is there. Great base running by Sydney Romero to pick that up, and the Bandits are going to regroup here after that mistake. Playing the way that the Bandits are playing right now, you can't do things like that. It just sends a mixed message to the other team that they can capitalize on. It gives them an extra 60 feet, and just doesn't feel good as a player when you've lost 4 of your last 5 to see a mistake like that when you're thinking everybody has to be on for us to get back on the win in the win column.
See if the top of the order can make them pay. Stacey Newman-Denise, the 3-time Olympian and the head coach at San Diego State, coaching the Bandits in their inaugural season in the AUSL. This is a franchise with history, though, in a previous iteration of a professional league, the National Pro Fast Pitch League, when they were the Chicago Bandits. These teams do not yet have home bases. That's something that is coming next year, as well as 2 more teams, so a ton of excitement. As excited as we are for the inaugural season, you get 2 more teams next year. You're going to get a lot more matchups. You're not going to see these teams quite as often. I'm sure pitchers won't mind that. And even more talent on display. Sacco swings through it for strike 1.
Second time through the order for the Talons, and they saw, what, 50 pitches from Odyssey first time through.
It's the 29th pitch of the inning right here.
Pitch count won't matter as much for one of our softball pitchers like it will be for MLB, where it hits that 100 pitch count. You're thinking, all right, this pitcher is about to come out of the game, but more so it's just about looks at the other team or getting off of the pitcher. So it's not going to be that same, okay, she hits a 100 pitch count, she's likely to come out of the game soon, she can go deeper. If she's throwing well, she can stay out there. We see that a lot from Rachel Garcia of the Volts, who has been one of the best pitchers in the league up to this point. We've seen 140, 150 pitch counts, and she's still dealing late into the game.
Talons scored their lone run in the first inning with 2 outs. Odyssey retired the first 2 batters. In this inning, the leadoff batter reached with a walk, and then Odyssey got back-to-back outs. And now with 2 outs, first and third for Jadlyn Alchin. First pitch swinging deep to center field. Nickles-Ca there to make the catch. Alchin twice has been to the warning track, but not left the yard yet. We're still tied at 1. Not just Sierra Romero and Michaela Edenfield. Ali Aguilar also visiting Petco Park in San Diego during this last 2-week break and throwing out the first pitch at the Padres game to Joe Musgrove. The AUSL tour this summer continues all over the country. These players showing off their skills at the MLB games as well. Ali Aguilar, a former star at Washington, silver with Team USA at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, numerous other medals with the U.S., gold at the 2023 Pan Ams. Ali, 2-time All-American as a junior and senior back in 2016 and 2017 at Washington. She's out at second base for the Talons as Megan Faremo misses outside for ball 1 to Morgan Zerkle.
Well, the question that I'm going to ask her, if and when we have a chance to talk to her, is was she more nervous for the first pitch that she threw out at the Padres game, or last night her at bat with a chance to walk it off? Or maybe option C, a different situation that I didn't mention that she can tell us about.
She just doesn't get nervous.
And
That's what it's looking like to me.
Maybe D, none. I'm calm, cool, and collected. I don't get nervous.
She's been doing this a long time. Inside to Morgan Zerkle. Top of the order for the Bandits here. Second time through against Megan Faremo. And You got to be a great pitcher to see this lineup 2 or 3 times. They just get better and better as the day goes on. Strike one to Zerkle. Singled her first trip up and then was retired on a fielder's choice. And Skylar Wallace grounded out. Off speed. Faremo bouncing back to make it a full count.
That changeup is such a good pitch for Megan Faremo. She uses it in a way that's not too predictable. I feel like it's a tough pitch for hitters to sit on against her because she doesn't use it a ton. Drops it down to 54 though and can pump in 68, 69 to these hitters.
Zerkle got all of that to center, carrying and gone. Morgan Zerkle, the league leader in home runs, adds another, her 6th of the season.
The home run production that they are getting from Morgan Zerkle this season has honestly just been out of this world. This is a leadoff hitter who has hit for average and uses her speed game her entire career. When she was at Marshall up to this point when she was a pro, but this year leading the league in home runs. Morgan Zerkle, the veteran on this Bandits team, their leadoff hitter who just sets the tone for them consistently. Takes that 3-2 pitch right back up the middle of the field to center field, and it is the 4th hit with 2 strikes for the Bandits in this game.
Zerkle with multiple hits in 10 of the last 12 games. That includes a 7-game streak. I think the hat's new. The bling hat is new, right?
Yeah, you can't miss it. Brand new with all that bling on it. You hit a home run, you get to wear the blingy hat.
As good of a spot as the Bandits are in the standings. Just feels like they need a win right now to get back on track. They were so good from day 1 to basically game 11. They were 12 in the first half of the season. They lost that 12th game, lost 3 in a row. They've now lost 4 of 5. Wallace indecisive and did go around for strike 2.
Just asked the umpire, was that on my check swing or was that on the pitch call? Just trying to understand how far in they're going to go with the zone, or he's going to go with the strike zone.
Foul down the left field line. Let's check in with Savannah.
Zerkle, you're in a 3-2 count. When you have a home run that is going up the middle, over the wall, what does that indicate to you about the swing and where you're at right now in this game?
Yeah, I had seen the low curveball already once, and then she got me with a changeup, so I was trying to stay inside it and just take it up the middle, and it worked.
How is this offense really trying to rally, working together to try and get something going in this game?
Yeah, we know at this point in the season, everyone's going to give up runs, so we just want to be able to score more than the other team and have our pitchers back.
Thanks, Zerk.
Thanks.
You could see her stay inside that pitch, too. That's one thing that stuck out to me about that home run swing is her hand path and how well she kept her hands inside that pitch to be able to get barrel on ball. Just be on time, full count, looking to hit.
The head coach at her alma mater, Marshall, and came back as ready as anyone in the league to play from day 1. Has been excellent. Had the first hit in league history.
And staying pretty close to her body, just not pulling off of that pitch, staying on it with her front shoulder. Beautiful swing.
Off the glove of Faremo, flipping, got to it quickly, but Wallace is quicker.
We're talking about somebody with Morgan Zerkle, Chucky, that in her career at Marshall, and it was one that, well, she'll have a legacy at Marshall forever, but she hit 13 home runs in her 4 years at Marshall, and that was in hundreds of games. She has hit 6 home runs in 17 games that she's played here in this AUSL season.
She didn't hit lefty until her junior year of high school. I mean, she's young when you think about
insane.
Even playing the way she's playing right now. Oh, that was awkward. Did they hit the front of the plate? Interesting. Almost like the plate was elevated or something.
Right in front of the plate, got a huge bounce. Ellis Palacios not expecting that at all. Why would you be?
How many tries do you think it would take her to do that again?
A lot. A lot.
Wallace on second, still nobody out. Koffel into right field, is gonna get down, but it's foul. Koffel to center, Sacco back, Koffel, another one for the Bandits. Her 5th of the year. "4-1 Bandits in the 3rd.
So tough to figure out where to pitch her this season, because when you go in, you have to go hard into her. And then when you go out, it has to be off the plate, or else she's going to be able to drive a home run over the right field fence or right back up the middle of the field. 3 hits in a row for the Bandits. They take the lead, 2 of them being home runs, and likely going to see a pitching change here to take Megan Framo out of this game.
A hit in 12 of the last 13 games. Koffel has been excellent. First 3-time All-American in Kentucky's program history. See Raylan Chafin entering the circle for the Talons. We'll see her for the 2nd straight day in relief. Savannah's in the dugout with Aaron Koffel.
Aaron, when I think back to your home run yesterday that got out of here in a hurry and on a line, that looked really similar. Why are your home runs just getting out of here so quick and line drives almost?
I'm just trying, especially with like a curve rise pitcher, just trying to stay on top of the ball. Last time she got me out with the curve that was a little bit elevated, so I made sure to stay on top this time.
You know, I was talking to Zerkle a little bit about building, working together as a team. How does her home run, seeing her have the success, kind of tap into your at-bat as well?
Yeah, I mean, that was awesome, and then Skylar's at-bat was awesome. I think we're just making them throw a lot of pitches, and we're being super competitive in the box.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.
2-run shot for Koffel, solo home run for Zerkle. Wallace got on with an infield single. It's a team that just loves to play together, too. I was talking to Stacey Newman-Denise before the game today. She said they are so in it together. They've even talked about everyone getting the same tattoo as a team in the first year of the league and all this history that they're creating, and just said they absolutely love playing together and being around each other. That's something we've talked about all year with this team. Now they'll have to do their damage against a different pitcher. Raylan Chafin is a rookie from Mississippi State. She led the SEC in wins this year in her 1 season at Mississippi State, started her career at LSU. We saw her yesterday in relief, 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It was not earned. She has been unbelievable as a rookie this year.
Come in and thrown a lot of strikes, really believed in the stuff that she had with a successful senior season at Mississippi State, where she transferred from LSU and played her final season there with the Bulldogs and became the ace of the staff, and her confidence grew a ton from February until May.
Outside ball 1 to Danielle Gibson-Horton. Grounded out her first trip to the plate, back to Framo.
Really quick, I was just wondering if you wanted to get a tattoo with me, because I'm feeling really good about our season that we've had together, and maybe our producer, Casey Carter, we can all go in together and get a little tat.
For sure.
Maybe
like,
are you into that?
Maybe like right here for me. Really go for it, I think. Yeah.
Good.
We're doing it.
When we're on camera, everybody can see it,
Yeah.
how dedicated you are.
Yeah.
I like that idea. That's how I feel. I'm pretty pumped about the season that we've had up to this point, too, as a broadcaster, and just getting to cover these games.
I can do the A, you do the U, Casey Carter does the S, and Jordan Alves, our director, does the L, AUSL.
Oh, committed.
Strike one and a 3-1 count from Chafin. Couple home runs. They came on the same day when she was a member of the Blaze against the Talons. 16 RBIs, though, and we'll talk about a professional hitter, Daniel Gibson-Horton. Has become a great young coach at Arkansas, and if you want to talk hitting, that is someone who will talk hitting with you all day long.
And I know you really like the look of her swing, too. A pretty left-handed swing. It's for power. Something about the lefties who swing away as she draws the walk there. We haven't seen any trades. In fact, the trade deadline was yesterday at noon, so we won't see any more for this season. So just 2 trades that we saw in our inaugural season. Both of them involving the Blaze.
And this was a big one. Gibson-Horton coming over, replacing Devin Netz, who goes the other direction. Kind of a utility, was the Bandits' 6th arm. They were the only team in the league that had that 6th arm, because Netz, they drafted and had her in the lineup playing first base. She was a dual threat at Arizona. 1-0 count now to Bubba Nickles-Ca. Hit her 4th home run of the year last night. Doubled and scored earlier in this game. There's strike one.
There's that curveball that Raylan Chafin will throw, and it's that pitch and her changeup that she will throw the most. And you remember in softball, like when you refer to a curveball with baseball, it's a slower pitch, more of an off-speed breaking pitch in baseball, but for softball, it's still a firmer pitch.
Bubba, left center field, and Bubba on back-to-back nights has homered. She is starting to wake up for the Bandits, which is very dangerous.
That's 3 extra base hits in the last 2 games for Bubba. A double back in the 2nd inning, a home run yesterday, and a home run today on an off-speed pitch. That pitch is supposed to be outside. Palacios setting up on the outside corner. It ended up back inside, right where Bubba Nichols looked like she was looking for it, but 58 miles an hour, and she was on time with that pitch. Line drive, and the Bandits really using the middle of the field. All 3 of their home runs have been to center field.
5 hitters have come to the plate. 5 hitters have scored.
3 home runs in this inning. Remember, the Talons hit 4 yesterday in their win.
Ground ball up the middle, chop through. What a stab by Flippin. No chance to make a play, but even to keep that in the infield. Savannah staying busy in the dugout.
Okay, you just said there's a pattern here. It's the aggression. How do you get those kind of results when you're on top of it, when you're being aggressive in the box?
Yeah, a lot of it comes down to what happens in the at-bat before me. I think that Gibby, she had a really great at-bat that drew a walk, so I was wanting to be more aggressive because I knew that she would want to come in with a strike. So I was trying to look for something that was drivable and just to help out Gibby and what she did to start the inning.
Okay, and innings like this don't happen on accident for a team. What's the why?
The why is I feel like we're more dialed in and sticking to the basics. I think that sometimes we get a little too high, a little too overthinking with things, but I think sticking to the basics is ultimately what we're after.
Keeping it simple. Thanks, Bubba.
Thanks, you. Thanks, you.
The Nickles-Ca Arena, the youngest member of that Olympic team in Tokyo.
Lead off on the Bandits have all 3 innings. Just a different mindset you saw from them, it looked like, up at the plate in that first inning. We talked about how important Morgan Zerkle is with her home run power, but ultimately, to me, she set the tone with a leadoff single to start the game with 2 strikes, saying to the rest of the team, we are going to fight today. 2 strikes or hit early in the count, we're going to go up and absolutely fight. And if the Bandits want to get back in their winning ways, they have to have their pitchers back. And sometimes that means to score 6 runs in a game. Sometimes that means to score 10 or 12 runs in a game. But pitchers giving up a few more runs than they'd like recently. But they have the offense to put more runs on the board than the other team because they have a great offense 1 through 9.
They will not be satisfied at 6-1 because they know what the Talons are capable of as well. As Wiz goes down on strikes, that is out number 1.
Well, remember yesterday they had a 6-run inning in the 5th and still lost the game, so they should have that fresh in the back of their mind. They had scored 6 runs in the 5th inning and still ended up losing.
Well, we showed you off the top of the show too, 5 of 13 wins for the Talons. They've been either tied or behind in the 6th inning or later. Strike 1 on the inside corner to Iacopo. They've seen a ton of pitches from Odyssey Alexander. Iacopo out of the reserve athlete pool. Finished her Texas career back in 2022, played a year in Oregon in 2018, and actually played for the Volts the first couple series of the season. That is one thing, if you're in the reserve athlete pool, be selected by a team, you can be reassigned to that pool once your services are no longer needed, and then any team can pick you up. So you could hypothetically play for all 4 teams in a season. Seen a couple players play for multiple this year. 1-2. 2 away.
You get to get all the inside scoop from all the teams.
Get a jersey too for all the teams.
Yeah, good point.
Howard Dobson out of the dugout for the Talons, maybe thinking about making another change in the circle.
You bring in the lefty, Mariah Lopez, with the lefties coming up here with Dayton, Zerkle, and Wallace. Or, yeah, Mariah Lopez coming in.
Lopez out of Peoria, Arizona, played her college ball at Utah. She finished a couple years ago. Talked about Danielle Gibson-Horton as a member of the Arkansas staff. Lopez spent the year as a graduate assistant on Courtney Deifel's staff. And Morgan Zerkle started this inning with a solo home run. She's coming up in just a couple batters. Talked about her coaching at Marshall, her alma mater.
Representing Marshall means so much to me. It's a place that I literally grew up. I grew as a player, I grew as a person, and to be able to coach there now and still represent them is a blessing. Being the head coach for my alma mater is so cool. I get to continue to grow the program in a different role now and bring players along who care about Marshall and Huntington, West Virginia and the special things we can do there. And I want to give athletes those experiences that I had that put me in the position to be here today.
Morgan Zerkle is going to have the first hit in AUSL history.
Balancing being a head coach and a professional softball player can be tough at times, but when you love it as much as I do, there's no place I'd rather be. I want to be on a field all the time. I want to either be making myself better or someone else better, and it's easy when you love it.
The inaugural 2025 season, the Athletes Unlimited Softball League teamed up with Coach Across America to spotlight the power of coaches through powerful stories from the mentors who shaped our athletes to the players now leading from the dugout. We're showing how one coach can change everything. Led Marshall to a second-place finish in the Sun Belt in her second season as head coach.
Pro's pro. Morgan Zerkle is really cool. She got the first ever athletes or AUSL hit.
Hoping she can come to the plate in this inning, but right now it's the 9 spot, Bella Dayton, facing Mariah Lopez. Lopez jumps ahead 0-2. Last outing, June 23rd against the Volts, gave up 4 earned and just 1 2/3. She is the lone lefty on this staff. 0-2.
Not a lot of lefties in the league. Bandits have 2 on their staff, and they're the only team in the league that have more than 1 lefty. The 2 for the Bandits are Taylor McQuillan and Emily Kennedy, the rookie from A&M.
You surprised another team didn't jump on Emily Kennedy sooner?
I think she's really unique. I feel like every lefty is pretty unique because there's not a ton of them, but with Emily Kennedy, just a hard-throwing, tall lefty, a lot of potential with her. I was surprised that she didn't go a little bit higher in the draft, yeah.
I feel like there's been some notable left-handed pitchers recently in the softball world. Maybe Kat Osterman, Monica Abbott come to mind.
Kaylani Ricketts, a lot that went to OU and have won national championships there. They're known for their lefties too.
First pitch on the outer half. Another 1-2, got her that time. Palacios throw to first to end the inning.
Well, the Bandits lead the AUSL in home runs. They showed off their power in the 3rd inning. A 5-run spot for the Bandits to give them 6 runs on the board. 3 home runs, Zerkle, Koffel, and Nickles-Ca.
The celebrity game is tonight, and in honor of that, we take you back to 2004. Jenny Finch against a young Albert Pujols. This was his 2nd of very many All-Star appearances. Jenny Finch just doing what she does, striking him out.
I mean, there are so many guys, baseball players, basketball players, non-athletes who think that they can hit a softball. And if Albert Pujols looks this way against Jenny Finch, one of the best to ever do it, I can assure you many other people would strike out too against a softball pitcher. There's so much mess that is talked, whether it's in college or pro, and Albert Pujols taking his hat and saluting Jenny Finch, striking him out. Kelly Inouye Perez was actually catching Jenny Finch. She's a head coach at UCLA now, won some national championships there as a player and a coach.
That's a pretty good battery.
It's a great battery. And chasing that rise ball, Pujols was, his wife played softball, and I think it was her idea for him to hit or off of Jenny Finch. As around the All-Star game, which is kicking off soon.
Yeah, Jenny in action tonight.
Jenny in action tonight, the Celebrity All-Star game. She's been a mainstay in that game for many, many, many years.
Hannah Flippin leading off the bottom of the 3rd for the Talons. 3-4-5 against Odyssey Alexander. All 3 reached when they came to the plate in the 1st inning.
Natasha Watley playing in this Celebrity All-Star game as well. They're on separate teams. You got to separate Tosh and Jenny. They can't be on the same team.
Since that 12U days, you know.
They go way back.
Let them be on the Olympic team, but that's it. Hannah Flippin is aboard to start the bottom of the 3rd. Really, the softball MLB connection goes way back. It's just a little bit different now. MLB, an official partner of the AUSL, a multi-year investment and a shared commitment, which is more than just font on our graphic here. It has been put into use. You go to MLB.com. It does not take you long to find information, articles, games that are live of the AUSL. There's Kim Ng, big part of it, leading the charge. Doesn't feel like a short amount of time as this is carrying to left. Zerkle on the line makes the catch. Kim Ng has not been the commissioner for long. And think of how far the league has come. You just imagine what things are going to look like in a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road.
It's working together in a lot of different ways. It's been so cool to see it all pay off. And early, this is just the first season. This has just been about the first month and a half, and look at what's been happening. Imagine what next year and the year after that is going to be like. You could tell, I mean, we've said this word a few times, but commitment, that's such an important word, just a big commitment from Athletes Unlimited and from MLB. I just can't wait to see how this continues to shine in years moving forward.
Popped up by Jacobson, out of play for strike one. It's funny, sometimes we get to see Kim a lot. She's in Seattle tonight, but every once in a while I'm kind of like, you know, we're talking to Kim Ng every other day. It just doesn't quite settle in. We've been really lucky to be around her a lot. And a foul ball from Jacobson. Showed you Joe Torre in the interview on opening day. He has a ton of respect for Kim. They go back to the MLB days. Three-time World Series champ as the Yankees assistant general manager, was the Marlins general manager most recently from 21 to 23. Not many you'll find with ties to the MLB that don't have a ton of respect for Kim Ng and belief in what she can do for this league as Jacobson's ball squeaks into left field.
Yeah, she's been awesome. I've been thinking back to, again, just Jenny pitching against Pujols. There's been so many times in history where a professional male athlete has tried to hit against one of our softball pitchers, and it just hasn't worked out well. And even remember Michelle Smith pitched against Charles Barkley back in the day. And I saw Danielle Laurie when she was doing a workout at one of the facilities that she practiced at, pitch against a baseball team there, and that didn't work out great either. Just fun to see that. It's kind of humbling because, I mean, it's just such a different look. Remember, we're only pitching from 43 feet away, so we have that rise ball, too, that Pujols was chasing from Jenny Finch well out of the zone, and that's a tough pitch to hit. Makes our sport so unique, that rise ball.
Is there an MLB batter that you would want to face if you get to choose one? I love asking you tough questions.
I know. I pitched against our baseball team at Texas A&M and in college, and that's as far as I went with it. But there's always those boys or those men I think they can hit.
Wallace trying to tag Flippin, and does. It's a double play. Skylar Wallace ending the inning, and a clean one for Odyssey Alexander.
Well, you could tell she was determined to make that double play happen after a ball off of her glove. The hitter before, so she gets the tag here and then the throw there. The Bandits get out of it.
(6-1) Bandits lead the Talons. Big innings have been the story for the Bandits. They've scored 5 or more in an inning just twice this year. Both of them have come in this series. Last night they scored 6 in the 5th. Tonight they score 5 in the 3rd. This is the trend that we've talked about. No one's won a game. No one's won back-to-back games in this series all year. This is the 7th meeting, and it's the Bandits' turn. And so far, they're taking their turn. They'd love to add to it right here. Top of the order to face Mariah Lopez, who struck out Bella Dayton, the only batter she faced out of the bullpen in the 3rd.
The Talons have very little to do to secure their spot in the championship in Tuscaloosa, July 26th. They want to be one of those 2 teams that are playing for the first ever AUSL championship, and for the Bandits, they have some winning to do and need some losing to go on for the Volts. They've been so good this year against the Blaze. They're playing in Seattle against each other, and the Blaze had the lead. The Volts had a big-time comeback, scored, was it 7 runs in a game against the Blaze last night at UW's Field. It's in front of a sellout crowd right there in Lake Washington.
Everybody wants to be the first. We've seen a lot this year. We've talked about it earlier tonight. One chance to be the first team crowned champions, and we'll see how things change next year when you bring in 2 more teams. But at the end of the day, whoever wins it going to be able to say they were part of that team that won the first ever AUSL championship. One of the co-founders, Jonathan Soros, the night before opening day, there was a welcome event in downtown Chicago, and he had a great comment about, you know, how cool it is to do things for the first time and be a part of that history. And he said, let's make this the last first for professional softball.
Had attempts before, but this is over and beyond our best attempt at professional softball that will culminate in this inaugural traditional season, July 26th through 28th at the University of Alabama's softball field, the Rhodes Stadium. Best 2 of 3 come down to Alabama. Hopefully you get some good crowds there. I think tickets are selling well, as they have been all season long for all the stops that we've been at all across.
One out for Skylar Wallace.
Well, and I think, too, I was talking to Howard Dobson, the head coach of the Talons, about this before the game, but just crazy to see it all come together and how hard everybody has worked over the course of the past year, knowing that the first AUSL season was going to be here very quickly, but...
Ripped into right center field. Wallace has wheels. She's going to hold up at second with a double. 2 hits tonight for Skylar in back-to-back innings.
Going back, Chucky, to the inaugural draft that we had earlier this year, the first ever college draft, and just seeing it all come together, the draft being just having such a big feel behind it, even for all these players, not just the rookies, but the players that already played professionally, to be in that first ever draft, being on the first ever AUSL team, whether it's going to be a Talon or a Bandit or a Blaze or a Volt, and just seeing it all come together, how big it has all felt, the support that this league has had from the very beginning. And I think it's just been over and beyond and surpassed everybody's expectations for this first season with where we're at right now.
Top ball 1 to Koffel. We were talking to Kirk Walker, pitching coach for the Talons, before the game tonight. He talked about, look, everyone's competitive. The coaches, the general manager, the players, everyone is hyper competitive in this league, and that's not going to change. But there's also an understanding that you're creating something bigger, especially in this first year. You're laying the foundation for what you hope is the future of professional softball. There's been great perspective. I think most of the people we've talked to, similar sentiment. Yes, extremely competitive, but everyone is kind of working toward the same goal right now.
Yeah, which is a really good feeling. Be a part of that. And a lot of athletes for decades played in professional leagues that didn't get the amount of attention and support that the AUSL is getting this summer. And Kirk Walker has been a big part of softball for many years in a lot of different ways. He's seen a lot, so it was cool to hear his perspective before the game. Brick by brick, it's been laid down in so many years, and not a lot of attention in the past, but the time is now.
And when you do get to the softball, and you talk to Kirk Walker about this pitching staff he's been able to be a part of, he is living his dream, I think, talking to some of the greats in the game and how into the film that they watch and the planning and everything that goes into it.
Learning from these athletes and them taking over the film sessions and talking about what they see.
Into left center field. It's the Bandits bats tonight, though, that have been leading the way. Wallace scores. Big night for Koffel. Couple extra base hits and 3 RBIs.
What we talked about that they need to do, scoring now 3 innings in a row. It was the Talons yesterday that scored in 5 different innings, and the Bandits just scored in 2. Had that big 1 inning, but then kind of went away until the 8th inning. And now they're just continuing to put runs on the board. Erin Koffel with another sweet swing, another extra base hit. Her slugging percentage over 1,200 on its own. Her OPS close to 2,000.
Slugging going up, I think, right now, the night she's having, if it's possible. Danielle Gibson-Horton did go around for strike 1.
That's a crazy stat. Like, what's a good MLB OPS these days? Like 900? And hers is close to 2,000 for multiple games. I mean, we're not just at, 2 games into the season now. We have played, this is our 17th game.
Line shot, flipping to second, double play. Seen plenty of that this year.
It's been a theme. Especially on line drives like this that have been hit to an infielder and they're quickly able to turn 2. Hannah flip it, and the Talons needed that.
Before there was Oklahoma City, there was Omaha. A ton of history here in Omaha when it comes to softball. Back when it was the AIAW College World Series, it was played here at Dill Field. And one of the architects of the Women's College World Series, Connie Claussen, who this field is named after here at Omaha, led that team and led the way for women's sports at Omaha in general. This beautiful facility where the Bandits lead the Talons 7-1. Savannah Collins is with Connie Claussen in the stands.
Coach, I feel like you've got a bit of a treat today and yesterday. You've seen great pitching, some big offensive plays, that double play. What have you thought of the AUSL seeing it in person?
Well, I think they're outstanding players, and I hope one day Omaha has a pro softball team.
Okay, so that's what I want to ask you about. You're born and raised here. You've built this place to what it is. Do you think Omaha would be a good spot for pro softball, and why?
I do. You can just see the crowds that we've had. Omaha is a softball town. Fortunately, when I was growing up, city of Omaha, we had a commissioner, Carl Kelly, and we were tops of in all the cities with the number of softball teams. So I got to play softball, and I played with a wonderful coach. He taught me a lot. So I could start softball at UNO, and I did that because I didn't have the opportunity when I was going to UNO, and I wanted the kids there to have an opportunity to play college sports.
So you were the head coach on that 1975 team. We've seen the awesome photos of you hoisting the trophy. When you think back to 1975, and then you look at this in 2025, what do you see as the big points of growth for softball to be where it is now?
Finally, women's sports are much more important than they were. We're getting more money, although many, many schools are still short on the money for women's sports. But, Title IX was passed in '72, but, really didn't do much until 1980 for us.
So when you think about the league right now, what you've seen so far, do you have a favorite moment, maybe even favorite player? Are you rooting for somebody today?
No, I'm rooting for everybody.
You just hope everybody has fun.
I'm amazed at the catcher, how catcher from the other team just slaps the glove and makes such a noise. I would think her hand would be so sore.
I'm going to ask her that. Coach, thank you so much for getting to hang out with you. It has been a treat. We appreciate all you've done for softball, and we're so glad you're here tonight.
Well, thank you, and I'm glad you guys are here, too, and you're doing an awesome job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Chucky, Amanda, back to y'all.
NFCA Hall of Famer, AIAW National Championship that Savannah talked about in 1975. Also started the basketball program at Omaha and basically just asked some of her softball players, hey, we need to put a roster together. Like, who wants to play? And all the hands shot up. Oh, I want to play. I'll be a part of it. And here this field is in her name as Bree Ellis just hit a rocket off the wall. Her first base hit for a while now. Bree's last hit on June 15th. It was a home run, first of her career.
About a month ago.
Yeah, Hayward running at first. Ground ball, Odyssey going to second. Over to first, double play, right back at ya. Save the Bandits to end the fourth.
I'll tell you what, the Bandits needed a good pitching performance. It's one of the things that we talked about at the beginning of the show. They need to continue to score runs and put them on the board all throughout the game, and they needed a quality start. They are getting that from Odyssey Alexander, the second double play the Bandits have turned in this game.
Allie Aguilar, yesterday's hero, all smiles when she walked it off for the Talons to give them their 13th win of the year, their 8th straight, and a team that just seems like they love playing together. Allie Aguilar, longtime veteran from Orangevale, California, starred at Washington, two-time All-American as a junior and a senior in 2016 and 2017, and a silver medalist on that U.S. Olympic team in 2020. We are joined by Allie. Finally, we have you in the field, Allie. We've talked so much about how great this stadium is, but are you having a little bit of FOMO that you're not in Seattle right now playing at your alma mater?
Absolutely, so much FOMO. When I found out, I was like, try not to be mad, because I'm happy for Sissa Bailey, but yeah, definitely 3 of us Huskies here are like, dang, seeing all the fun they're having, but I'm happy for them for sure.
Bubba Nickles-Ca leading off the inning against Mariah Lopez.
Okay, so I think you could hear us talking when we couldn't talk to you before, so you already know what question I'm going to ask you about the multiple choice. Were you more nervous for the first pitch at the Padres for your walk-off AB, or, you know, you didn't know it was going to be a walk-off AB at that point, but potential for a walk-off, or C, this is ball.
Dang, Bubba, are you serious?
Ow.
Okay.
3rd in 2 days for Bubba Nickles-Ca.
Been hot. When Bubba is going with pitches and using the middle of the field, that's when you know that she is her best. And early in the season, she was actually struggling with outside pitches and getting pitched there a lot, but going to work the past couple of games, 3 home runs for her in 2 games. 2 of them have been right here to right center field, where she goes with an outside pitch, just staying on it and proving she can be one of the best hitters in the world.
The first mic'd up of the year that we did was Bubba Nickles-Ca in left field against the Talons, and I'm not sure who hit it, but somebody hit a home run over Bubba's head, and so she gets a little revenge here with one of her own while we were talking to Allie Aguilar. So back to the question.
I've got to know this will be the 3rd time that you hear me talk about this. Nervous for the Padres game, nervous for your AB last night, or C, a situation that I just did not mention there that you were more nervous for?
Definitely that bat yesterday, but it was a little different. I was trying to decide at the Padres whether to go from the mound or like in front like everyone else does, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go from the mound. So I asked Joe what I should do. He's like, go from the mound. Hold on, they're calling me in.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Here's Allie at the Padres game, throwing out the first pitch during the 2-week break to the season.
She actually had some velo behind this first pitch, too, so she went from the mound. Look at that. Like, she did not hold back and just lob it in there. That had some good velocity behind it. That was awesome.
Allie, when you do think back to your time at Washington, what's one of your favorite moments that comes to mind?
I'm going to come listen to Allie's interview. I'd say probably the College World Series. My freshman, sophomore, junior, we fell up short, and then senior year, we finally got there with like a team that none of us had really been there. So I would say it's every girl's dream to go to the World Series, and when we got there, I just remember it was super cool. Yeah, Tori wants to be in the interview.
We saw her helping you out with the mic situation. We know Tori's got the TV experience.
She wants it. She loves it. She loves the camera. I'm just kidding.
I was just listening to her answer.
Yeah. Do you have anything to say?
Talons are still up.
Allie, you can play just about every different infield position. Which one is your favorite?
Honestly, I love where I'm at. I love second base. Yep. I played a lot of shortstop in college, but I don't know what it is. I just love second. There's always a bunt you got to cover first, double play. Like, there's always something going on.
Or do you need this?
Some change for the Talons.
Yeah.
It's going to be a pro debut, actually, for Elena
Yes,
Escobar
here we go.
on the reserve athlete pool. Starred at Liberty, helped knock off the number one overall seed against Texas A&M in regionals this year. Allie, you've been a part of the pros for a long time. You played in the NPF. You played in Japan. We've talked a lot about the first with this league tonight, the history that's being made right now. From someone from your perspective who's seen so much of the pro game, what stands out most to you?
I think this league, what stands out most is just like, I feel like we're treated like professionals. I mean, everything's taken care of, from our equipment to just like travel, everything like that, and it's just been a lot of fun. And the competition, oh my gosh, you never get a break. Like every hitter, you gotta be on your toes for, on defense, every pitcher's great, and yeah, you just gotta stay on your toes for sure.
Allie, we really appreciate the time. We're glad we finally got you in. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you, I appreciate it, you too.
Thanks, Allie. And Escobar enters into this game. Excited to watch her pro debut. I had a chance to talk to Charlize Palacios, the catcher for the Talons, about Escobar. And she said she really spins it. So she's going to work a rise ball and a changeup. But what stands out to Palacios catching Escobar is just how tough she is to time up because of how spinny she is with just that rise and changeup that she works in there. Consistently changes speeds. I'm sure she's nervous in front of this big crowd and pitching her first game here.
To her left over at first base is someone who was probably not thrilled to see her in regionals, Tori Vidalis, who is the back end of that double play right there. Third one we've seen in, what, 2 innings now?
Ali Aguilar was talking about just how professional this league feels, and Sierra Romero, who is the third baseman for the Talons, Sydney Romero's sister, she plays for the Volts, but put this on Instagram that she's been in the pro space for a long time, and this is the most professional that she's ever felt. Saying it gives her chills to think about how far the league has come and where they're at right now with this support and just what this league feels like. But happy and blessed to be able to experience this in the upward shift. I like that phrase. AUSL is on the rise. I'm here to stay. I mean, that's the important part. Here to stay.
One from Escobar to Dayton. Bella 0 for 2 tonight. Into left field, Alchin is there. Job done for Escobar. Gave up a single and a double play and a fly out for Elena Escobar in her professional debut. Last night in Seattle, the Jesse Warren show, all over the place defensively, Amanda, from her knees on this play. This is my favorite right here.
There's could be a lot of favorites.
No, that was my favorite. I'm sorry, they look the same.
Well, all of these to her backhand. I mean, she was just covering the line over literally at the hot corner in Seattle last night against the Blaze. The Bolts ended up winning that game, and they'll continue to play tonight. You can check that game out later. MLB app if you'd like, and they'll play tomorrow too. But yeah, Jessie Warren over at third base, vintage defense from Jessie Warren. We saw her at Florida State do it with her glove, and we've seen her do it as a pro. Locked in at the plate too. She had 3 hits and 3 RBIs for the Volts last night in that win.
Starts in just 10 minutes on the MLB app. Bandits with a 7-run lead over the Talons. A matchup last night that went to extras. It was an incredible back and forth game that finished in 8 innings. Sarah Willis trying to keep things where they are for the Bandits in the 5th inning. Great opportunity out of the bullpen for Willis in her 2nd season out of UCF. Just misses inside. She will see the top of the order. Sierra Sacco walked her last trip to the plate, struck out looking in her first at bat. Job done for Odyssey, though.
Odyssey threw a great game, 4 innings, and only gave up 3 hits. The only tough thing that she did was give up some free passes throughout the game, some walks and a couple hit by pitches that the Talons were not able to capitalize on, but she just did a good job of not letting the innings get too big after those free passes. Bandits have turned some double plays. We've seen quite a few double plays in this game. And Sarah Willis will enter this game with her tantalizing changeup that she likes to throw. That pitch that she just is like a Bugs Bunny changeup. Remember that from the cartoon? It just comes out of her hand and it feels like it stops about halfway in between her and the hitter. There it is again. Drop it down all the way to 48 miles an hour, and she can ramp it up to 67, 68, so it can take 15 to 20 miles an hour off that pitch.
Another Washington connection. Spent her first 2 years there for Heather Tarr. 3-2 to Sacco. Hard hit ground ball, backhand by Koffel, 1 out. My favorite Sarah Willis facts, when she comes out of the bullpen or comes into a game, the first warm-up pitch of every inning is overhand. And people love it. It just becomes this big thing, and she was asked about it. And the story is that JT D'Amico, who is now an assistant at Georgia for Tony Baldwin, who's a longtime assistant at Washington, told her one day, you know, you should do this. It'd just be interesting, be unique. She's done it ever since.
She has a big personality, plays with a lot of energy. She can hit a little bit too, so it's a big outing for her. And the Bandits gave the ball to Odyssey to have the start, and with a 7-run lead, they can not have to rely on somebody like Lexi Kilfoyle to come in, who likely, I would think, will get the start tomorrow, so give her a rest today. We saw her yesterday come in relief. She's the ace of the staff, be able, with a 7-run lead, to give some innings to some different pitchers. Hitting the ball today, my goodness. Bandits 8 runs with 13 hits through these 5 innings.
Behind Alchin 3-0. Jadlyn Alchin has had 2 big swings tonight and 2 long flyouts. Flew out to right field to the warning track in the first inning, flew out to center field to the warning track in the second inning. 4-pitch walk for Alchin. Plenty of speed now at first base. Flippin, he's not recorded an at-bat tonight, but has reached twice. Hit by a pitch and scored in the first. Walked in her second at-bat. There's the off-speed, flipping underneath it, out to Dayton, 2 outs.
For the Bandits, you don't want to give the Talons any momentum late in this game that they can leave the game feeling good about for what is looking like. And look, the Talons are a comeback team, so this game is not done yet. But if score stays as it is, what's looking like it could be the rubber match for tomorrow. You don't want to give them any extra momentum. Want to have some good shutdown innings too, with Sarah Willis following up Odyssey Alexander.
Tori Vidalis, who was working overtime tonight, trying to help us with the mic setup for Ali Aguilar's mic'd up segment. 2-0 count to Tori. You mentioned it. This has been a late inning team. The Talons have outscored opponents in the 7th and 8th inning 20-9.
Sarah Willis looks good so far. Just needs to throw a few more strikes, but some of these pitches she's just missing a little bit off the plate, which against the Talons offense you have to be careful. However, with a 7-run lead, just want to go right at these hitters.
Tori waited on that, but like flipping underneath it. Zerkle in foul territory. Clean inning for Sarah Willis. 0 for the Bandits, 2 innings away from a victory. Softball League is sponsored by Goody. The newest set of the Tops Now cards is out. Megan Framo, Aubrey Leach, Delaney Wiz on those cards this week. I think we maybe see a little Odyssey Alexander on a card, helping the Bandits get to an 8-1 lead. Had a great start tonight, 4 innings, 3 hits, 3 walks, just the 1 run allowed. We're joined by Odyssey now in the headset from the dugout, I should say. Odyssey, what was working so well for you tonight?
Honestly, that screw in that rise, just getting them to chase that and just foul pitches off and, you know, getting to throw what I want towards the end.
Leadoff hitter Morgan Zerkle for the Bandits against Elena Escobar.
Odyssey, you're really analytical about your performance. I'm curious, how would you rate your performance tonight?
I feel like it was pretty good. I feel like I got them to swing early in the count. I feel like I was ahead a lot, which is like what I like to do. I pretty much don't like to waste pitches, so just going at them. I did throw a lot of pitches, but it was worth it. So
it feels like you're really back to your best stuff this summer. What do you attribute that to? Is it off season? Is it the team environment? What do you attribute to your success?
I honestly just think it's the team environment. Of course, the off season, you know, that helps too, but just put them behind me, believing in me, and knowing I can just go out there and just shut it down. That's what makes me go.
See, how important do you feel like this game has been for you guys today after losing 4 of your last 5?
This game was definitely needed, and I feel like everyone's so bought into what we have going on that, I mean, I knew this game was going to go like this.
Odyssey, appreciate the time as always. Nice performance tonight.
Yes, thanks.
Ooh, up and in at Morgan Zerkle there. Good start to the inning as far as a battle at the plate goes for Morgan Zerkle against Elena Escobar. They don't need Odyssey. They want to win this thing. They want to get to Tuscaloosa first to clinch their spot, but then if they want to have a chance to win it all, you would think she'd be a big part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And yesterday we were talking about in a 3-game series who would get the starts for the Bandits. And we know that Lexi Guilfoyle would start game 1, we would assume, and maybe even game 3 that you throw her out there in 2 of the 3.
Oh, Romero at third. Defense starting to take center stage in this game.
Morgan Zerkle just continues to barrel up the ball to all parts of the field, but hits this one right at Sydney Romero. Doesn't even have to move much, just stretch out. See it off the bat. But talking about as Skylar Wallace steps into the box, who's going to be that game 2 starter? Could it be Taylor McQuillan? Could it be now Odyssey Alexander just getting her 2nd start of the season and gave a quality start? I think Taylor McQuillan, one of the lefties that they have on this staff, is really good in relief. So with the way that Odyssey threw in this game, maybe you think, okay, we can keep Taylor McQuillan in relief and have her available for maybe even all 3 games, have Emily Kennedy in relief too, and even look at the way that Sarah Willis is stepping up today. Even if these pitchers go in a 3-game series and think, okay, all I need to do is get 3 outs in this 1 inning. You want to have them be the most confident they possibly can be in their role.
Wallace waited on it. Alchin in left, 2 outs. Talked about, Odyssey said how much this game is needed. You looked at the standings just a second ago. It's a 4-game lead over the Volts for that 2nd spot. This is not what the Volts want to see. And they need the Bandits to struggle. There's a 4-game series that begins on Thursday in Round Rock, Texas between the Volts and the Bandits that will decide that 2nd spot very likely, or at least decide if the Volts have an opportunity in the final couple games of the season.
Yeah, the Volts need to win tonight too, which they've had a lot of success against the Blaze and some confident against them.
2 out knock for Koffel, 3 hits for Koffel on the evening. Just a triple away from the cycle.
Well, which she does lead the league in triples, so don't count Erin Koffel out if she gets another AB.
Just 1 hit shy of a season-high 15 that they had just a few days ago against the Blaze in that, what was it, 32-hit, 22-run
hitters duel?
Whatever you want to call it.
I think that a duel is only between the pitchers. You can have a pitcher's duel, but between the Blaze and the Bandits, it's consistently been an offensive duel, hitter's duel.
The crazy part about that, there were only a few runs scored in the final, like, what, 3 innings? Everything happened in the first 1, 2, 3 innings, it felt like. 3-0 count to Danielle Gibson-Horton with Koffel on first base. Talons do want to be a little careful here. Bandits 1 run away from the run rule possibly being in effect. The Talons, regardless, are going to get a chance to come to the plate in the bottom half, but 1 more run, and this could be over early. Here is the last Bandit you want to see at the plate right now if you're a Talons fan. Bubba Nickles-Ca having a decent night, Amanda. She's doubled. She's hit a solo home run, and she's hit a 2-run home run.
3 home runs in the last 2 games.
Bubba into right center field, keeps it rolling. There is run number 9. Bubba has a 4-hit night.
When she is driving the ball up the middle of the field and to the right side, you know that she is on. She's not getting in front of herself. She's letting pitches travel. She's staying on it with her front shoulder and just utilizing the right side of the field. So what she is doing here is the Bandits have now scored in 5 of the 6 innings.
Bubba Nickles-Ca had 9 RBIs entering this series. She has 7 in the first 2 games of this series. Has homered 3 times. She's a grand slam away from the home run cycle in this series.
Which her teammate, Danielle Gibson-Horton, has done in a game, hit for the home run cycle at Arkansas.
She was just a sophomore into left field. Alchin with a nice grab to end the inning for Elena Escobar. Bandits up 8. Talons will need at least 1 run to keep this game going. Fans at a sellout crowd here in Omaha. Not quite the drama we experienced last night in the 8-inning walk-off for the Talons. Tonight has been all Bandits. You talk about a team who needs it. They've lost 4 of their last 5. They are trying to get back on track and keep the trend going of these 2 teams alternating blows this season.
I feel like take back the power. You could hear it, and the Reete's song has been the theme between in this series and then just throughout the season between both of these teams. Taking back the power. Talons with 4 home runs last night, and the Bandits with 4 home runs tonight.
Talons need a run to keep this game going and avoid the run rule. Been a weird series kind of because they have alternated all the time. Every game essentially has been close. There have been potentially 2 run rules. The other was an 8-0 victory for the Bandits. The 2-1 count for Caroline Jacobson. Has reached twice. Oh man, that is a filthy pitch.
Changeup. You just cannot see it coming out of her hand. She just keeps her arm speed up. Her leg drive is the same. The only thing that changes is the way that she releases it. With when she comes through her release, she leads with the back of her hand.
Ground ball for Wallace. Strong throw to first for out number 1. The good news for the Talons, they have a couple big-time players who are not available right now. Montana Fouts and Maya Brady, who was the UCLA star. We have not seen Brady this year. She's been on the injured reserve list since the beginning of the season, has been with the team. We saw both of them today pregame, kind of going through the warm-ups down the left field line in their street clothes. But as good as this team has been, 12 of their last 13, 8 straight, you don't have Maya Brady or Montana Fouts right now.
Let's give an Escobar a chance, likely to pitch in this game with Montana Fouts not available and Maya Brady looking on from the sidelines. We saw Montana pitch earlier this season, but Maya Brady has not gotten in on any action. We'll see if that changes by the end of the season.
Brady looking on, 3-time first-team All-American at UCLA, 2 times the Pac-12 Player of the Year. Played both of the primary positions, center field early, shortstop later in her career. Ball 2 to Ali Aguilar. There they are, Montana Fouts on the left, Maya Brady on the right. Montana, you would think, certainly Alabama fans are hoping that she will be available when they go to Tuscaloosa. And they'll actually play 2 games there the week before, kind of the week leading up to the AUSL Championship. Potential to see Montana a couple times in Tuscaloosa.
Hopefully she gets back healthy and can pitch back on her old stomping grounds again.
Into center field. Zerkle makes the play. 2 outs. Maya Brady has a couple famous uncles, Kevin Euclid and then Tom Brady, who put this on his Instagram. Got his Maya Brady Talons gear. Can't wait to watch Maya Brady rake.
I feel like he's like kind of an influencer, so he got one of the influencer boxes, right? Little Brady uniform, an AUSL hat, and that AUSL branded box. I've seen some other people get the AUSL gear too. Jessica Mendoza opened up her box the other day.
He's been slightly influential, you would say. That'll do it. 1-2-3 inning for Sarah Willis, who was excellent out of the bullpen. 2 scoreless innings to close the door after 4 good ones from Odyssey Alexander and a needed win for the Bandits.
They needed this pitching performance. Only gave up 3 runs to maybe the hottest hitting team. And then look at the Bandits. Their offense stepping up, supporting their pitchers. We talked about coming into this game. They need to score a lot of runs, and they did that. Good 2-strike hitting early in the game. Bubba Nickles was absolutely on fire and answered back after losing last night with 4 home runs and 15 hits.
That matches a season high that we saw earlier this week. Win number 11 on the year for the Bandits. And we get a rubber match tomorrow, Amanda.
Can't wait for it. These teams have just been back and forth, and usually the games are closer than this one. So tune in tomorrow to see that rubber match. A run rule is the rarity, but the Bandits offense showing up in a big way to give them the win and tie up the series.
You're hungry for more softball? There's one going on right now. Blaze and Volts playing in Seattle at the University of Washington in front of a sellout crowd. That's on MLB.com in the MLB app as we speak. Big win for the Bandits, 9-1. A run rule, the Talons. For Amanda Scarborough, Savannah Collins, and our entire crew, I'm Chucky Kemp. Thanks for joining us, everyone.